years ago, the Danish newspaper Jyllands-Posten and one of its editors, Jorn Mikkelsen, published some now notorious cartoons of Islam's prophet Muhammad. Last year, Bassem Youssef, an Egyptian satirist and television host, was forced off the air for jokes made at the expense of former presidents Hosni Mubarak, Mohamed Morsi, and current President Sisi. This year, the annual Swiss Media Forum extended an invitation to both men to be featured speakers at their Congress Hall in central Lucerne, 30 miles southwest of Zurich. However, due to unspecified heightened security risks and some rumored threats, the event was held offshore on a ship in the middle of Lake Lucerne. Bassem, who now lives in America where he is a fellow at Harvard University, recently told CNN, "I'm tired of struggling and worrying about my safety and that of my family." The country of Myanmar has just taken its first census count in 3 years. Uncounted, however, are approximately 1 million individuals known as Rohingya, a Muslim people who were first brought to the country as cheap laborers when it was under British rule and known as Burma. Myanmar's population largely consists of Buddhists, and the Rohingya remain a persecuted minority chiefly concentrated in the western state of Rakhine in primitive conditions which have caused them to seek asylum in other countries of the region. The government of Myanmar refuses to take responsibility for the humanitarian crisis being reported around the world and would just as soon not acknowledge that the Rohingya even exist for fear that the admission would lead to a path to citizenship for the stateless group. The government has previously promised to allow the Rohingya to identify themselves as such, but at the last minute instructed them to be identified as Bengali instead. The Polyphony Foundation was created in 2011 to use classical music as a way to bring young Arabs and Jews together in a culturally neutral setting. The group claims to have already involved 100 youngsters in the program, and recently a quartet consisting of 2 Arab and 2 Jewish students, calling themselves the Polyphony Quartet, participated in a series of concerts in New York, performing works by Antonin Dvorak, Mozart, as well as modern pieces by Arab and Israeli composers. On a larger scale, the program introduces music to as many as 6,000 elementary school students in Israel, and the hope is that the number will rapidly increase in the coming years.